this is the question that is there in front of us. So it says that if x and y are positive real numbers such that 3 log x base y is equal to 1 and log x square plus 12 base x is equal to 4, then find the value of x plus y, right? So from here what we can say is that what does this mean? That we can rewrite it as log x power 3 base y is equal to 1, and this simply means what? That y power 1 is equal to x power 3, right? So this is the first relationship that we get between our x and y. Similarly, from here what we can say is that x power 4 is equal to x power 2 plus 12. Now we can rewrite it as x power 4 minus x square minus 12 is equal to 0. Now replacing my x square as k, what we get is that k square minus k minus 12 is equal to 0, right? Now this is basically what? K square minus 3k minus 4k, sorry, plus 3k minus 4k minus 12 is equal to 0, right? So from here what do we get? We take k common and we get k plus 3 minus 4 k plus 3 is equal to 0. Now upon solving this, what do we get? We get k is equal to minus 3 or k is equal to plus 4. Now we know that my k is basically what? My k is x square, and my x square can never be a negative value, and moreover my x is also a base of log, right? So it can never be a negative value. So that simply means that my k or my x square is going to be equal to 4. And from here I get that my x is going to be equal to 2, because it cannot take the value of minus 2 again for this reason, right? So my x will be equal to 2, and if my x is equal to 2 and my y is equal to x cube, I can say that my y is basically equal to 8. And I was asked to calculate the value of x plus y, so that would simply be 2 plus 8, which is equal to 10, which will be your correct answer. That means option number D is the right. The second question, what do we have? If x and y are real numbers such that x square plus x minus 2y minus 1 ka square is equal to minus 4y multiplied by x plus y, then the value of x minus 2y is, right? So let's rewrite the equation. What do we have? X square plus x minus 2y minus 1 whole square plus 4xy, right, and plus 4y square is equal to 0 is what we have, correct? Now taking these, you see what is this? X square plus 4y square and plus 4xy. So can this be written as x plus 2y ka whole square, right? Because then it would be what? X square plus 4y square plus 4xy. So we have clubbed these, this, and we get x plus 2y ka whole square, plus this terms remains as it is, x minus 2y minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. Now since we have been given that x and y are real numbers, that simply means that the squares of real numbers are always going to be integers, right? They are always going to be integers, and for these two, the summation of two numbers to be equal to 0, they are always going to be positive. Not only integers, they are always going to be positive, right? So for sum of two positive numbers to be equal to 0, both of them have to be 0, right? That simply means that x minus 2y minus 1 is also equal to 0, right? So x minus 2y minus 1 will be equal to 0, and from here I can say that okay, my x minus 2y will be equal to 1, which was the desired result that I was looking for. So x minus 2y gets equal to 1. The correct answer becomes option number B. Moving on to question 3, we have if root of 5x plus 9 plus root of 5x minus 9 is equal to 3 times of 2 plus root 2, then the value of root 10x plus 9x, right? Let's assume that this is my a, this is my b. I know that a plus b multiplied by a minus b is equal to a square minus b square, correct? Applying the same thing over here, we have what? Root of 5x plus 9 plus root of 5x minus 9 multiplied by root of 5x plus 9 minus root of 5x minus 9 is equal to a square, which is 5x plus 9, and minus b square, that is minus 5x plus 9. What do we get? We get a 5x cancelled over here. Now this part is equal to this part. So we know that this value is going to be equal to 3 times of 2 plus root 2. Right? And over here we have the same thing copied. Right? This comes over here. And this is equal to 18. Now this 3 takes this over here. It becomes 6. And what we have is now root of 5x plus 9 minus root of 5x minus 9 is equal to 6 divided by 2 plus root 2. Now to change it, we need to multiply this by 2 minus root 2 divided by 2 minus root 2. Correct? Upon solving, what do we get? We get, see, this will be 4 minus 2, that is 2. So 2 takes over here, this goes 3, and this becomes what? 3 multiplied by 2 minus root 2. Correct? So basically what do we have here now? That a minus b is equal to 3 times of 2 minus root 2. So we have a plus b as equal to 3 times of 2 plus root 2. And we have a minus b as equal to 3 times of 2 minus root 2. Correct? Let's get the value of 2a. So we get the value of 2a as equal to what? So this is 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6, 12. Now this is 3 root 2, this is minus 3 root 2, that gets cancelled. So what do we get? We get the value of a as equal to 6. Now this simply means that my root of 5x plus 9 is equal to 6. Taking a square on both the sides, what do I get? 5x plus 9 is equal to 36. And I get my 5x equal to 27. I was about to find 10x. That simply means that my 10x ka value is going to be equal to 54. Now when I am trying to find root 10x plus 9, so 10x plus 9 is basically what now? It is 10x is 54 plus 9, so that's 63. I have to calculate root 63. Right? Now root 63 would be what? This is going to be equal to, see, in 3 it will go 21 times, 21 will go another 3 times and 7 times. This forms a pair, this comes out, the final answer turns out to be 3 root 7. That means option number D will be the correct answer. Moving on to question 4. The question is that the number of integer solutions of the equation 2 mod of x multiplied by x square plus 1 is equal to 5x square. Now what we can do over here is we can assume that my mod of x is equal to k. So I will convert my equation into what? 2 times of k multiplied by k square plus 1 is equal to 5k square. Correct? So this is what I have. Now see, there will be always one solution that k is equal to 0. Right? That would be one solution for us. Right? Because if you put k equal to 0, everything would be equal to 0, because here is a mod of x that is getting multiplied, there also x is getting multiplied, it will become a 0. Right? So that's one solution. Next is that k takes over this. What are you left with? 2k square plus 2 is equal to 5k. Now taking them all on the same side, what do you get? 2k square minus 5k plus 2 is equal to 0. Right? Now applying our method, so what do we have? Minus b, that will be plus 5, plus minus under root b square minus 4 into a into c divided by 2a, that is 2 into 2. Correct? So what do we get from here? 5 plus minus under root 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16. So what do you get? A 9 over here and a 4 over here. So what do you have? 5 plus minus 3 divided by 4 are your roots or the values for k. So one value would be 8 divided by 4 and the other value is going to be 2 divided by 4. Right? That simply means that my one root is 2 and my other root is minus 1 by 2. So now, but because k was equal to mod x, right? So this can take positive as well as negative values. So can I say that my mod x would be equal to, basically be equal to 2 minus 2, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 and as well as 0 that we considered over here. Right? And since the question is only asking for the integer solutions, we know that there are 5 solutions to this equation. But since it is only asking for the integer solutions, 2, minus 2 and 0, that means how many solutions do we have? We have 3 solutions for this particular equation. On to question 5, what we have, let alpha and beta be the roots of equation 2x square minus 6x plus k equal to 0, such that alpha plus beta and alpha beta, that is the sum of the roots of that equation and product of the roots of that equation, are the roots of this new equation, that is x square plus px plus p, and we have to identify 8 times of k minus p. Alright, so let us first identify what would be alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta is what? This is the sum of roots. Sum of roots is given by minus b by a. Minus b by a in our terms is going to be minus of minus 6 by 2. That simply becomes 3 by 2. Correct? Then we have alpha beta. Alpha beta is what? Alpha beta is c by a, which in our terms is going to be equal to k divided by 2. Right? Now we know that the sum of roots of this equation will be what? This will be the sum of roots for this equation is going to be equal to minus p, right? Because minus b by a will get minus p. And this minus p is going to be equal to what? This is going to be equal to alpha plus beta, that is 3 by 2, plus alpha beta, that is k by 2. Right? So this is what we have. Correct? Sorry, not 3 by 2. This is not 3 by 2. This is only 3. Correct? So this is 3 plus k by 2. Similarly, the product of this equation, talking about the product will be c by a, that is p divided by 1, that is product is p. And if the product is p, and in our terms it is going to be alpha plus beta multiplied by alpha beta. So this is basically going to be equal to 3k divided by 2. Now let's put this p is equal to 3k divided by 2 over here. What do we get? Minus 3k by 2 is equal to 3 plus k by 2. Right? Upon solving, what do we get? We get that 2k is equal to minus 3, or we get that my k is equal to minus 3 divided by 2. Correct? Now if k is equal to minus 3 divided by 2, let's put it over here to find the value of p. So 3 by 2 multiplied by minus 3 by 2. So p becomes equal to minus 9 by 4. This is the value of p. Now when you have to calculate k minus p, it will be minus 3 by 2 minus 9 by 4. What do you get? 4 as LCM. You get minus 6 minus 9, that is minus 15 divided by 4. Right? Now minus 15 divided by 4 is what you get. Hold on, if I'm not making a mistake. Okay, so this is minus 9 by 4. K minus p we have to do, right? Achha, so this will be in summation. Right? This will go into the summation part. Right? Because this was already minus, so when it will get subtracted, it will take a plus sign over here. Right? So this will be plus 9. So instead, what we'll be getting the value as 3 divided by 4. Right? And now what you have? Multiply this by 8 because we have to find the 8 times of it. So multiplied by 8, this will go 2 times. 3 2s are 6 will be your correct answer for this particular. Moving on to question 6. The equation x cube plus 2r plus 1 multiplied by x square plus 4r minus 1 multiplied by x plus 2 is equal to 0 has minus 2 as one of the roots. If the other two roots are real, then the minimum possible non-negative integer value of r is, right? So if it has been given that minus 2 is one of the roots, we can say that okay, x plus 2 is going to be a factor. If x plus 2 is going to be a factor, you can factorize the entire equation by doing this. By you take into division. The division part will make, what will you get? X cube plus 2r plus 1 multiplied by x square plus 4r minus 1 multiplied by x plus 2. Now when you do the factorization, when you take into division, you start calculating, the value that you will be getting is x square plus 2r minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. Alright? So the ultimately the factorization value would be x plus 2 multiplied by x square plus 2r minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now since we know that this is going to give me the other two roots, and because the other two roots are also real, we can say that the discriminant value is going to be greater than equal to 0. Right? So what will be the discriminant value? B square. So B square is what? 2r minus 1 ka whole square minus of 4 multiplied by a multiplied by c is greater than or equal to 0. So what we can say from here, that my 2r minus 1 ka square is greater than equal to 4. Taking a under root on both the sides, what do I get? 2r minus 1 is greater than equal to 2, or my 2r is greater than equal to 3. Right? So if my 2r is greater than equal to 3, my r is greater than equal to 3 divided by 2. And because the minimum possible non-negative integer it was asking, that's why I've only taken the positive part. I haven't gone into the negative part, right? Because even if you take a -4 or -2 over here, you would get a bigger value, right? So the minimum possible non-negative integer value of r is going to be greater than 1.5, and that value, the greatest integer, the greater integer just above 1.5 is going to be equal to 2, and that would be your correct. To question 7, we have that for some positive and distinct real numbers x, y and z, if 1 divided by root y plus z is the arithmetic mean of 1 divided by root x plus z and 1 divided by root x plus root y, then the relationship it holds true. We have been given certain options, among them one of them is going to be true. Acha, now since this is the arithmetic mean of these two values, we know that that would simply mean that root y plus root z is in harmonic progression with what? With root x plus root z and root x plus root y. Why is that? Because simply means that if two numbers are in arithmetic mean and one number is the arithmetic mean of other two, if you take the reciprocal, they become in harmonic progression, right? It becomes the harmonic mean. So simply by we have been given a reciprocal, if we reciprocate it, we will get these values and they will be in harmonic progression, right? Now applying the formula for harmonic progression, what do we get? That root y plus root z is simply equal to 2ab, that is 2 times of root x plus root z multiplied by root x plus root y divided by a plus b. Now a plus b would simply means what? 2 times of root x plus root y plus root z. Now since there is nothing much we can do, what we'll do is we simply cross multiply and we'll see where it goes, right? So what do we get? Okay, root y multiplied by root 2 root x. So we get what? 2 root xy. Root y with root y gives me a y. Root y with root z gives me a root yz, right? Similarly, this one gives me 2 times of root xz. This gives me root xy, root yz, and this one gives me a z. So we have cross multiplied, we have got these things. This will be equal to, we'll start multiplying these, right? So what do we had? Let's simply assume it as 2 times of root x and 2 times of root z. Now the calculation for us is going to be much simpler. So 2 times of x, we will get from 2 root x multiplied by root x, it is 2x. 2 times of root x multiplied by root y is going to give me a 2 times of root xy, right? Similarly, 2 times of root x with 2 times of root z with root x is going to give me 2 times of root x z, and this one is going to give me 2 times of root yz, right? Now over here, if you see, there is a 2xy, there is a 2xy, that goes. Here we have a yz, that is 2z, that also goes. Here we have a 2xz, that also goes. What are you ultimately left with? Ultimately you are left with y plus z on the left hand side and 2x on the right hand side. And from here what do we get? That y plus z divided by 2 is equal to x. That simply means that x is the arithmetic mean of y plus z. And as per that, the option number C, that is y, x and z are in AP, becomes the right answer, because the middle value is always going to be the arithmetic mean. So option number C becomes your correct. Moving on to the last question from algebra. So we have a lab experiment measures the number of organisms at 8 AM every day, starting with 2 organisms on the first day. The number of organisms on any day is equal to 3 more than twice the number of previous day. And if the number of organisms on the nth day exceeds 1 million, then the lowest possible value of n is. So what we have is that we can say that okay, on day 1 we have 2, day 2 we have twice plus 3, that is 7, day 3 we have twice plus 3, 17, day 4 we have twice plus 3, 37, day 5 we have twice plus 3, 77, right? So this is what we have. Now this is 5, okay, let me use the black pen. This is 5, here the gap is for 10, here it goes to 20, here it goes to 40, right? So if we want to try and write a general term, what we get is that 2 plus 5 multiplied by 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus up till 2 to the power n minus 1, right? Now this simply can be written as 2 plus 5 times of 2 to the power n minus 1, right? Now 2 to the power n minus 1. Now this will basically be what? 2 plus 5 into 2 to the power n minus 5, that is 5 into 2 to the power n, and 2 minus 5 would give you a minus 3. So this will be day n, right? Let's cross check it. So if we have 2 to the power n, that is first day we are calculating, so 2 into 5, 10, minus 3, 7. Okay. This is giving me the data for the second day. Let's try it with 2. So 2 power 2, 4, 4 5 are 20, minus 3, 17. Okay. So whenever I am trying to calculate, I must have done some mistake. It is giving me the data for day n plus 1. So if I want the data for day n, what I can say is, or let's say now call it as term n, what changes we can make to it? If we introduce a minus 1 over here, right, it will start giving me the previous day, right, and it would give you 5 into 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 3, correct? Now if you check it, 2 power 1 minus 1 0, that is 5, minus 3 is 2. Now it's giving me the exact data for the nth day. Now it is saying that on nth day it exceeds 1 million. That simply means that my 5 multiplied by 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 3 has to be greater than a million, right? Now this plus 3 goes over there, but it's very insignificant for me. I will not take into consideration. From here I have 2n minus 1 is greater than 5 takes over here in division. I get a 200,000, right? 200,000 is what I get. Okay, if you see that 2 power 10 is equal to 1024. 2 power 20 is 1,048,576. That simply means that my 2 power 19 would be equal to somewhere around more than 500,000. And my 2 power 18 would be close to 250,000, somewhere close to that, right? That means if I need a value more than 200,000, this n minus 1 has to be equal to 18. This n minus 1 is 18 because 2 to the power 18 is just above 200,000. That simply means that my n value is turning out to be equal to 19. So the minimum possible value of n when it crosses 1 million is going to be 19.